So allow me to start off by saying that I'm not here to waste your time. I know that your sub boxes are absolutely bleeding with Hardline content right now, just because obviously everybody that went to the same recording event that I did all has the same embargo time and embargo date at like 6 a.m. today, so I know that you have a ton of Hardline videos coming at you like a flurry, like Poseidon's Wrath was just released from the floodgates. So I'm not here to waste your time. I'm just going to tell you exactly what I think you should know going into the beta and a little bit of info about the beta itself. So first of all, this is the first clarification I have to make. The beta is completely open. It's completely open. So those of you that are hitting me up on Twitter and Facebook and Friendster and every other social media site that I seem to have for no reason, you're all, hey yo Badger, can I get a key? Hey yo Badger, you got a key for me like I'm Colombian or something? It's an open beta. There are no keys, so I don't know what you're talking about. You don't need a key to get into this beta. It is just, you download it and you play it with your friends. And yet again, it's open up to all platforms. That's Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4, and PC. Now keep in mind, if you're on a previous generation console, it's going to be about 4 gigs. The newer generation consoles are going to be about 11 gigs, so just keep that in mind. You got to download it before you can actually play it. So you might not be able to play immediately. If those of you that have Burger King internet or live in Brazil, you know, keep in mind that it's not just like it releases, then you can somehow just play it instantaneously. You need to actually make sure that you can download it before you play it. And also too, as soon as it goes live, or within a few hours of it going live, I'm going to be live streaming it for 24 hours. So if you guys would like to join me for that, be sure to follow me on Twitch. I'll leave a link down in the description, and I'll also upload a video tomorrow just to remind you guys. But beyond that, I'd like to say that the first thing that you should know is that melee weapons are completely different. Now, I think you're going to notice throughout these clips my tone and my attitude isn't super serious. I mean, you get some super tryhards at some of these events. You know, they bring their own mice, their own mouse pads, their own headsets, their own keyboards, their own M16A3s. They're all decked out. Well, it's like, I'm over here running around with a golden golf club, so I know that might seem a little bit odd to you, but the difference is that the golden golf club, like knives and pipes, and a lot of the other melee weapons, they're light. So you can swing them super quickly to smack somebody in the face and, you know, show them what your 9-iron's all about, but they can't bust open doors like the sledgehammer and the door breacher can. But keep in mind, they're like this. And by the way, the crowbar has some very funny text. I will read it to you guys in a future video once I get a little bit better quality here. But the text is pretty funny on the crowbar, and the animation is great too. But think about the door breacher and the sledgehammer like a Falcon punch, not like a Donkey Kong punch. You know, Donkey Kong could charge up his fist and then just wait and then unleash it later on. That's not the way the sledgehammer and the door breacher work. As soon as you hit melee, it's coming out whether you like it or not. Just like a Falcon punch, if that makes any sense. Second piece of advice, press spacebar when you're in a vehicle. It is outrageously silky smooth, the handbrake, alright? It is just... There actually came a point where I was pretty disruptive to my team just because I would actively try to avoid a lot of the objectives and a lot of the different cars that were driving around just because I wanted to try my handbrake around certain turns to do like a full U-turn at some kind of ridiculous speed. So just be careful with it. And also too, stunt driver obviously gives you NOS here. It makes fire comes out of your exhaust, so I guess that's kind of interesting and nifty, but that's more of a visual thing than anything else. But just be sure to use the handbrake because it is outrageously fun. Third thing, if they haven't patched it yet, which I think they had, I mean, Thad said that he already was going to fix this, but if they haven't yet, for some reason, and you have a sniper rifle, it is very easy to take down a car with an attachment on it called the 338 Magnum ammo. It takes place, like, I know a lot of you are all about that straight bolt pull, whatever that is. I don't really snipe that much, but the 338 on the R700, if you get that specific attachment, that specific round of ammunition, it's extremely good. Now, stemming down, I wanted to talk about the assault rifles and the, you know, the engineer SMGs are totally different now. Like, you think about BF4 where, you know, you can kind of have an SMG or an engineer gun or a carbine, something like that, that can still act like an assault rifle. It's not like that anymore. The assault rifles are extremely versatile, but the SMGs like the K10 and the folding gun, all those ones, they're very, very short range. So, I mean, you got sniper rifles that are obviously super long range, assault rifles that have a pretty long range that can still do well in close quarters, but the SMGs are very, very short range oriented now. They are, you can't snipe people across the map like you can with an assault rifle. It is not very close to BF4s in previous battlefields, but you gotta understand that sort of difference or that division is massive. So oftentimes if you have a K10 or something else, and the K10 has a ridiculous rate of fire, but you can't put extended mags on it, and it, you know, obviously it has a very, very small magazine to begin with, so you run it around super quickly, but you can also kill people super quickly. Oftentimes you can outdo shotguns, but just keep that in mind. It's not like assault rifles can really overpower SMGs anymore, but SMGs at the same time can't snipe people. So it's very, very, the division is much, much larger. Now, I really, really like if you have the ability to get it in the beta, which I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure if everything's going to be unlocked. But I have to say, among the shotguns, what you got? The SPAS, the 870, the double barrel, and the stakeout. The stakeout is my favorite. Now, I know you're probably going to hang me for using a purple zebra camo, but I just found it hilarious. You know, like a golden shotgun, purple zebra camo shotgun. Fairly humorous to me, but at the same time, keep in mind that there still is random spread, so it's not like it's right out of the center of the reticle when you're hip firing. It's still random spread, so it might be a little bit frustrating to you. Now, the pickup weapons, the LMGs, and I'm just going to gloss over the DMRs and the battle rifles because I don't really care about them and they're super annoying to use and be used against you. I mean, it gets really, really annoying when it sounds like mosquitoes are constantly trying to buzz onto your forehead. It's just not really my cup of tea. But the MG36, its major advantage is obviously a pickup weapon, but it's not that much better than an assault rifle. The major advantage is just the mag, like the massive drum mag or the box magazine. Like, that's the real advantage, is that you don't have to reload. But the LMGs that you pick up are not that much better than the assault rifle, so I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to go get those pickup LMGs, but I would go out of my way to get the RPG. It is ridiculous. The amount of splash damage, I think, is going to be nerfed just because, I mean, even if you get it slightly close to the guy, it's going to kill him, and at the same time, there's very little drop on it over distance, and it flies super quickly. So it's kind of just see a guy fire, it's sucker be it, and he's going to die, alright? He's going to die. The next piece, I can definitely hear some crying when I heard some crying when I was playing at this event, because I know a lot of people really like choppers. They really, really like choppers, but I have to say, they are so fragile now. Like, we're not even talking about RPGs or any kind of, you know, specifically anti-vehicle weaponry. We're talking about regular bullets can easily take this thing down. You get enough dudes firing at it, it's going to go down very quickly. So keep in mind, helicopters, super fragile. Next part, the Molotovs are outrageously fun, alright? Use the Molotov, use the incendiary, just because it's basically, not only does it burn for what seems like forever, but at the same time, if you get it right in the center of where a guy is standing, like if you get the entire, let's say it burns in a rectangle or a square, if you land it so the guy's right in the center of it, he's probably not going to be able to run away, and I got so many people with the Molotov, it's not even funny. And keep in mind, if it's friendly fire, if it's friendly flame, it's blue. It's not orange, it's blue. Another, pretty much my final piece of advice, learn to sabotage. You can technically disarm it with, I believe, the repair tool, but basically you plant a car bomb and then it detonates as soon as somebody starts to drive. Sometimes I got a tanker and I got 2 sedans. Yeah, that's 1,500 points in like half a second. So I recommend sabotaging as many vehicles as you can, just because it's so great for the mechanic class. And my final piece of advice before I see you guys for the stream tomorrow is keep in mind, Levolution is still a thing.